What's up, everybody? I'm Simon Sabro, and today we're going to be talking about some LGBTQ plus manga. Just giving out some recommendations, some of my favorites, good stuff like that. But before we get into that, be sure to follow me on Instagram at SimonSabroYT. Link will always be down in the description. Also, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss an upload, all of that good stuff. Also, comment down any LGBT manga you might be reading and you'd want to recommend to me. Have you checked out any BL, GL, etc., anything like that whatsoever? But with all that out the way, let's just jump right into it. Alright, so before we actually start talking about, what we got or whatever, do want to say real quick, happy Pride Month to all of y'all. Not going to say too much about it because I know for some people it's a sensitive topic, rah, rah, rah. It is what it is, but happy Pride Month to all of y'all. And let's just jump right into the list. So before I do start, actually, you could kind of see like a couple of stuff missing behind me already. If you're not new to my channel, you know what those series are. And I kind of talk about kind of the same BLs all the time because they are my favorites, but really quick honorable mentions for stuff that are not going to be on the list because I'm sure y'all have heard of it. Given, like I said, I'm sure everyone's heard of Given at this point, so it's not going to be on the list. Same goes with Links by the same person. One more that's not really manga, well, I don't need to do air quotes, but it's not manga at all and it shouldn't be on the list, but Heartstoppers by Alice Oseman. Just gonna throw that out there. Like I said, I'm pretty sure everyone knows those by now. I'm sure honestly most of my list you probably already heard of too, but just want to shed some light on some series. Honestly, I had this organized in a certain way to I wanted to start talking about them, but we'll kind of just go around whatever. And so the one that I do want to start out talking about is gonna be, can a otaku like me really become an idol? This one is honestly, for one, not the best BL, or honestly, yeah, we'll go with BL on this list, or not the best series on this list. Let me just say that, because not all of these are actually BL. Here's the back of the book in case if you're interested. Hopefully it focuses. But okay, so for one, just to start out with, this volume is really pretty. Just the color coordination on it, blah, 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 all of that stuff looks really, really pretty. In case if you didn't read the back of the book, basically it's about this dude who is like a super idol fan. And he just kind of, okay, how do I put this? He's an idol fan and he runs into this really popular hot guy at his school, being this guy right here, who's like a closet idol fan. And so what happens is, also this is a slip cover, let me just take that off really quickly. But what happens is that the kid otaku, being if it's this guy, finds out that he's a closet otaku and starts obsessing because he didn't know there were other idol fans at the school, and to know that one of the most popular students there is also an idol fan, he was really rejoiced about. And it's honestly pretty interesting. Some stuff does happen that might be a bit unsettling, but it's not talked about in a traumatic way. If you get what I'm hinting at, you get what I'm hinting at, hopefully. But it happens in a way that's, like I said, not very traumatic or anything. And so the guy starts dressing up as this idol because basically it was like an exchange of secrets. Not gonna explain too much on that. And so the popular guy's goal is to make the other guy one of the best idols out there. And so that's pretty much the goal of the manga. And then it's honestly just really cute, a really fun story. I'm not really gonna spoil much. I think that really sells, talks about it more than enough right there. It is just a really cute, fun story. Nothing too crazy. Not the deepest or most intricate plot out there, I'll say that, but it is still just fun and enjoyable. All right, so I do have one more quick honorable mention I do want to make. It kind of just came to mind. I don't have it physically, but it is going to be Killing Stalking. I'll put a picture up on screen. It is called Killing Stalking, not exactly a BL, as you know. A lot of people have told me that it's not really considered BL, it's more like psychological horror with a bit of BL elements in it. And after reading the first volume or omnibus, first English edition of it, I can definitely agree with that. But kind of wanted to throw that out there if you are looking for like a really dark story with like some BL elements. That's a really good one. But moving on to the next one, we have The Song of Yoru and Asa. So, okay, just as a quick heads up for anybody who might have read this and you might ask me in the comments, I have not read Encore. And then for those who don't know at all about this, there is like I guess I don't know what to call it, a second part of the book called Yoru and Asa Encore, which I do need to get in all honesty because I did love this manga, hence why it's on the list. And this one is also a slipcover. Yeah, so here's the actual like front of the book if it shows it well. So it's about these two dudes. This guy's name is Asa, he's Yoru. And so Yoru was it like he's like one of the biggest I think it's guitarist slash singers, just music artist honestly, and really attractive guy. All the ladies go out and see him and just drop when they see him. Like he's Michael Jackson in this book basically. Oh gosh, the glue on this is okay. I don't know if y'all were able to hear that, but like there was some glue connecting this a little too closely. Let me be careful with that. But yeah, so it is about, like I said, this guy named Yoru here. Like I already told you, he's like the Michael Jackson of the series. And then this guy named Asa, who when they were younger, Asa was a fan of Yoru's music. And so Asa started his own band, mostly so he could get like, you know, girls and stuff. But honestly, that's like just the basics of the story. Yoru, or not Yoru, Asa, this guy is completely straight. Asa I get the names mixed up. Yoru falls in love with Asa after he performs something like that. I forgot. It's been a while since I've read it. It's been a while. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, so the black-haired one falls in love with the blonde one, and basically tries to make ways for, like, try to convince the blonde-haired one to like him back. Kind of. It's a little bit like that. Oh, and I forgot. There was like a really funny moment that happens in like in this book. Towards the end of the book, there are some very like disturbing moments. I will be honest. Definitely very off-putting. But all around, just the story itself was just like really, really good for no reason. Like honestly, no, I wouldn't say it's the best story on here though. But it is still really good. It is also really cute. Just the two characters dynamic, because one being what's his name, Yoru, the black-haired one, is like really shy and stuff like that. Meanwhile, Asa is very abrasive. Is that the right word? But hopefully you get what I'm trying to say. Let me just make sure. Also, if you ever see any books published by Kuma, they're usually uncensored, so I gotta watch what I show here very carefully. But that is the Song of Yoru and Asa. Like I said, that is the, I guess, number 4 pick. Yeah, we do have 5 total, so that is the number 4 pick. Because, yeah. Sorry, my brain isn't here right now. But let's move on to number 3. All right, so we do have, like, a new challenger approaches here. So, like, in the transition between me finished talking about Yoru and Asa and going to the next one, I kind of, like, scanned my shelf to see if I was missing something. And I realized I have the opportunity to talk about my favorite mangaka, being Shuzo Oshimi. And that manga that he has is Welcome Back, Alice. I completely, like, forgot about this manga because, for one, it's been a minute since I've read it. And a volume hasn't come out in quite some time, given, like, when the series first came out, I think the first 3 volumes came out all in 1 month. But here's the back of the book. Like I said, I haven't read it in a really long time. So I'm going to talk about it very vaguely. But it's about these two guys. They were best friends when they were younger, being these two here. And then she's also in the mix. So I forgot which one it is. I think this one goes away, like he transfers schools for a bit and then transfers back to like their hometown and identifies as a female. And so this guy here, okay, wait. So the now female, I'm gonna refer to them as Alice. I forgot if that's the like actual name they go by or not, but we're gonna refer to them as Alice. And so Alice falls in love with the main character and tries to show the main character like the wonders of just, having freedom in your sexuality, not binding it to just being male or female, and just all the in-betweens of it. And it's very interesting. It is psychological. Like I said, it is definitely LGBT plus. And then we have this girl here who's like, no, it's taboo to be like that. You got to be with me. It's very, very interesting. That's like going off of the dome of my memory for this series. And it is a very interesting story all around. And like I said, it is by my favorite mangaka, being Shuzo Oshimi. And overall, the series is 4 volumes long. I forgot to mention that. So the first one I talked about, Otaku, is just a one-shot. It's just that 1 volume. Same goes with Yodo and Asa, but there is the Yodo and Asa Encore. This is 4 volumes ongoing. I'm not sure how long it is in Japan. Usually Shuzo Oshimi works tend to be like 10 volumes or so. So I kind of expect it to be around that length. But now moving back onto like the actual stuff I had planned ahead of time. This one, if you have seen my most recent reading log, you would know that I talked about this, and it is honestly amazing. Wouldn't really consider it much of a BL at all, honestly, but it is A Home Far Away. This is an amazing manga. Once again, this is by Kuma, and this is a slipcover as well. I'll take the cover off to show y'all. But this one is really just about 2 dudes trying to escape their, honestly, I don't want to say lives, but trying not to bind themselves to a place, if that makes sense, as opposed to like, they feel like they don't identify with the places that they're in, as well as the standards that their parents have set for them, the standards society has set for them, their past, things like that. They don't feel like they identify with those things. And it's about these 2 dudes, and it's really them just traveling around, having fun, trying to find themselves, understand themselves, better themselves. And it's great. Like I said, I wouldn't consider it much of a BL compared to like, or not BL, but LGBTQ plus manga relative to like the other stuff on this list. And I do apologize that I'm like saying BL as like a generalization. Bit of out of habit. I do apologize for that. But the art in here is beautiful, and it's probably my favorite like art style, or honestly, yeah, just the stylization of it is probably my favorite out of everything on this list. Still, overall, a really phenomenal manga, and I would highly recommend checking this one out too. Now, these last 2, straight spice. I ain't even gonna lie. These last 2 is spice, boy. But I don't know what's the order I want to talk about it for. We'll talk about this one because I feel like it might be a little bit less known compared to the other one, and that is Last Gender. Now, this manga is phenomenal. Okay, so it is only 2 volumes out currently, but I think volume 3 comes out of January 2024. Here's the back of the book, and I'm pretty much about to just explain the back of the book because it is a compilation of short stories. So it's about this bar named Bar California, and people go to this bar for basically they get to express their sexual identities, or really just identities in general, in terms of whether it be what they like, how they are, what they identify as. And it's a place where nobody can judge them and people can just be who they want to be. And like I said, it is just a short story work, but it does have a bit of like an underlying plot in it. And that underlying plot is where you kind of just find out more about the, I don't want to say main character, but the bartender that works there. You kind of find out about their plot. Not gonna say their identity because I don't think it was actually ever revealed in the first 2 volumes, but it is just overall amazing because you learn so much different identities. And let's say that you're not familiar with yourself, then you might learn some terms in here that you might be able to identify with. You might hear some information and that character might be able to resonate with you. You just never know, honestly. And this manga is like so informative, and it's still a really good story despite how much information it actually throws at you. Would definitely recommend this one to, honestly, I think anybody that, whether you are part of LGBTQ plus or not, I think pretty much anybody can enjoy this manga. There are some parts that might be a bit disturbing, I will be honest. But honestly, it is really, really good. Really quickly, do want to give one more like quick honorable mention. I know I've been like all over the place. Like I had 5, like listed here, and I kind of just went off track. But do want to talk really quickly about this one, Boy Meets Maria. This was the first ever LGBTQ plus manga I've ever read, and it was what honestly got me into it. And then from there, a lot of you guys started commenting like BLs I should check out and stuff like that. So I do want to say really quickly, thank you all for that. I greatly appreciate it, because it honestly has opened my eyes to like a whole different side of manga, honestly, and I really do appreciate it. So thank you guys so much for that. If you do have any recommendations for me, of course, always comment that down. But like I said, Boy Meets Maria, just wanted to, quickly shout this out because it is what started me on, this type of manga. And it is great. I don't know if I showed the back of the book already, but here you go if you want to read it. I'm not personally going to talk about it. Also, if you do decide to read it, trigger warning on it. But I'm not going to talk about it. The video is going on pretty long by now because we did talk about literally everything else as well. But last one, I do want to talk about my favorite. Honestly, this is like actual like top 5 all-time manga for me. Maybe top 10. Give or take, depends on the day. But it's Boys Run the Riot. Now, this one is so good. Oh my god. Okay. So I'm really bad with names, and I'm really bad with like correct terminology for these kind of things. So I do apologize in advance. Dang, this is not like focusing at all. Hopefully you guys can see it well enough. But okay, so it's about our main character. Her name is Rio, and they are biologically female, but they identify in their head as male. And so the way they feel most comfortable is by dressing up in male clothes. Of course, it is set in Japan, and therefore they have like really strict school uniform, and female school uniform being they have to, wear skirts and stuff. So Rio usually wears like gym clothes, sweatpants, stuff like that to kind of bypass it, because they just don't feel comfortable wearing skirts and other feminine clothing. And it is really good. Like that's like the basic premise of it. And so the character has like a really high motivation for wanting to be in fashion, make their own clothes, really good with graffiti as well. And it is honestly just such a cool story. This story alone is like I said, it's like at least top 5, top 10. It doesn't have like really any romance elements in it whatsoever for the most part. And it is 4 volumes long complete. Sometimes I do wish the series went on a bit longer, but it feels good ending where it ended at. And honestly, it is a phenomenal story. This one, I 100% like, I'm not even gonna say think, I 100% know that anybody can enjoy this story. Whether you relate to the main character or not, you will find something about this story that takes your interest, even if it's just something as simple as like the fashion elements or whatever. You'll find something that interests you in this, honestly. And it's just such a good manga. The art is really good. The characters are so good. Like, even though it's just 4 volumes long, the characters are so fleshed out. It is an amazing series, like I said. But that is really it for the whole list. Thank you all so much for watching, especially if you made it to the end. Let's give a quick shout out to our channel members. Also, let's give a even bigger shout out to our newest channel member. Thank you all so much for supporting the channel. I greatly appreciate it. And like I said, can't say it enough. Thank you guys so much to everybody. And once again, happy Pride Month to all of you. Once again, be sure to follow me on Instagram at SimonSabroYT. Link will always be down in the description. Also, be sure to leave a like, subscribe, hit that bell so you never miss an upload, all of that good stuff. Once again, comment down any recommendations you have for me. How'd you feel about my recommendations? Anything like that whatsoever. But that's all for me. This is Simon Sabro signing out. I'll catch you on the next one.